Hello, welcome to FGSO Woodworks. I'm Larry, and today I have a little bit of a problem. I wanted to show a video of me stripping the drawer to the drum table, the top of the drum table, the legs of the drum table. Unfortunately, I think I made a mistake in the formatting of it. I think I went with too high of a resolution, and my computer can't seem to handle it. Plus, it was throwing me these things that were wrong or whatever. So anyway, unfortunately, I wasn't able to show you the stripping process. However, as the table itself and the drawer is done, I'm going to work on the legs some, because although I spent time stripping it, there's still a little bit that needs done. So that's what we're going to work on right now. And for the moment, let me show you how the drum table turned out, how the drawer turned out. So let me show you those real quick. Okay, so this is the drawer. All the finish has been stripped off of it. There's some little minor things that I need to do before I put finish on it, well, before I stain it and then put finish on it. There's a little bit of separation that I have to glue. Let me show it to you here. You can see as I'm moving it with my finger that I have to do that, and it's on both sides. And that just comes from years of, for how old it is. I mean, it is from the early 50s or the late 40s. The drum table itself is finished. As well, it's ready to be stained. I've made sure that everything is nice and smooth. The edges are nice and clean. A little bit of details again that I have to go over, but that's about it. I did get the leather top back already. I can show that to you here, but then again, you'll see it whenever I apply it to the table itself. And then here are the legs. So what we're working with today on these legs is I want to make sure that I get everything nice and smooth and get it prepared. It is part of a restoration job to do that. You might have to do a little bit of sanding depending on the amount of finish. Plus, there are some areas that it looks like they hurried when they originally applied finish, so I'm going to kind of go over that a little bit. I have scrapers. I have sanding blocks, different, with different contours. I have a brush. It's a nylon brush. It's not a steel brush or an aluminum or brass brush, and a towel. I do have some extra both lacquer thinner and mineral spirits for cleanup, which I might need depending on what this is. So I'll have to get my sanding pads as well. Okay, so let's get to it. can see here, the finish is removed, but the stain remains, and that's okay. I did try and remove a little bit of it, but I kind of changed my mind on that. I might have to get in here with some really fine sanding things, but we're going to try and do it with just regular sandpaper, so we're not removing too much material. That's the big thing that you want to do when you're working on an antique piece, is that if you do have to sand, sometimes you do, but if you do have to sand, you want to remove as little material as possible to get the result that you need. So let me get a little bit of sandpaper here. We're going to start off with a 150 grit sandpaper and work up from there. There's not too many places on here that I actually need to sand down. For the most part, it's going to be hidden, or I should say the stain is going to take care of that. This block of wood is simply because I don't want to cut my paper that's on the table. There are going to be some areas on this that I'm going to need to actually put filler in. I have to be careful though, because contrary to what the bottle says or the container says, wood filler does not stain. Really what I'll probably end up doing is taking some sandings and putting the sanding dust in the grooves, and then putting some CA glue. CA glue is super glue. So now if you look right here, this is really rough. I have to be careful because I don't want to sand in too far, but I do need to make sure that it looks good. When it comes to refinishing furniture, or even stripping furniture, if you're going to start it, realize that there's going to be some areas that it's going to take time. This is not just a get it done in one day, unless you're planning on just sanding it down and painting it. I know that sounds a little bit angry coming from me, but that's just because I don't necessarily like painting furniture. It's not that I can't paint furniture, it's that wood is beautiful. So I want to enhance the wood, not cover it up. if you look at what I'm doing, you can see that all I'm doing is smoothing things out. I'm not trying to sand away the stain that's already there. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is smooth. So if you have any suggestions on how I can improve this channel, I would really, really appreciate it. I'm open to all suggestions. I mean, this side of telling me to get bent and stop my channel, because I'm only trying to get better. But like I said, I'll take any suggestions. Now there's a couple of tips that I'm gonna show. One of which is actually in this situation here. Turn this around here. If you look, this area, there's a sizable place, because these are pieces that were joined together. They were fashioned one side at a time and then put together. They weren't hand done, they were kind of mass produced. And I need to fix this part right here. So, as soon as I find my glue, so I have a couple of glues here, and I'm going to use, I'm actually going to try this one. I haven't used it before, but it is Titebond, and I'm a fan of Titebond. So let's see what we can do. First things first. Brush down a little bit, see if there's anything in there. Now, I'm going to need a couple of clamps. This one. We'll try this one. See which one works better. A little bigger than I wanted it, but it'll work for that. Yeah. Brush, some paintbrush. you notice it's still a little bit messy, I'm trying to reorganize my... Okay. I can't find my brushes, so I'm going to use a stick. And that should work fine. So I'm going to kind of hold that open a little bit. Make sure there's... I need something to wedge in there. This should do the trick. That should work. There. See that guy for later. That's not going to be wide enough. So we'll have to use this. So we'll move on to the next one. And what I'll do is I'm going to stick it out a little bit. Now, on to the next one. So this was the light that got bright.